The ancient Inca settled in the Peruvian area, which we present-day call Machu Picchu. They turned to agriculture when they noticed they needed a variety of foods that can grow well in their diverse habitats. There were many things the Inca needed to take into account when they first turned into agriculturalists, like the terrain, climate, and soil. In order to overcome these obstacles, Inca engineers displayed extraordinary skills in terracing, drainage, irrigation, and the use of fertilizers. Agriculture brought the civilization together with the same goal of farming enough food to feed the whole civilization and still have a surplus. The ancient Inca had no currency within the civilization, so there was no way to pay for food. You would pay your taxes with labor, and as long as you did your job, everything would be provided for you. The Inca also mined. Because of this mining, they managed to pollute the water used for drinking and farming with cinnabar, a mercury-containing ore, and contaminated the soil and water. They had to convert the native land to suit their farming needs, meaning cleaning an area that they used for farming from the harmful substances that polluted them. Taking this all into account, I would say that yes, the ancient Inca had a sustainable food production system. They managed to work well with their environment and overcome the many obstacles it brought. They built terraces to make growing crops on a steep hill easier. They also had canals to use as irrigation to make sure the plants were watered. They also always had a 3 to 7 year surplus of food that was preserved using what they call chuno, which is the process of leaving food out, such as potatoes in the cold night air to freeze to later be sun-dried. I researched Peru as my present culture. The main system they use for food production is agriculture. They had to turn to agriculture to work with a different climate and geographical zones. They can grow things that wouldn't grow in other countries like asparagus, mangoes, and sweet onions. Since agriculture is a big part of Peru's income, they have to make sure everything runs smoothly. Many farmers use pesticides to exterminate insects that may be harming the crops, like for example whiteflies. A great way some farmers fertilize their soil would be with guano. Guano consists of excrement of seabirds, cave-dwelling bats, and pinnipeds, and is high in hydrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. To water the crops, farms most commonly use an irrigation system to make sure all the crops get enough water. Since farming is 30% of the country's population's job, without it there would be many jobless people not being able to pay taxes or even feed themselves. It is also how the country makes a lot of their money, by selling and or trading various types of crops. Taking all this into account, I would say yes, the food production system in Peru is sustainable.
Explain the process that the food goes through from planting to distribution.
In our food, we rely on the mulching for nutrients, so we don't have to add nutrients. We plant by seed. We use only open-air pollinated seeds, not necessarily heirlooms, but all open-air pollinated, no hybrids. We're water-wise because of the mulching and the flood irrigation. Our plants grow. Sometimes they get bug damage. Sometimes to a point we can't sell them. Sometimes not to a point where they're still sellable. Sometimes we don't get any bug damage. And then on market day, I come out and I take what the garden gives me and I take it down there and I sell it to the people.
Okay. What makes the farm sustainable in terms of economical, environmental, and social impact?
We don't have to spend any money to make this happen. This is what I like to call a currency-free operation. Are we still talking here? Yes, okay. This is a currency-free operation. I'm not saying we don't use money, but nobody invested any money in this. And we pay our way as we go. We don't purchase fertility. We pay our land taxes. The land was even free. That's another story. But part of this whole model is if we want people growing food in the cities, we got to give them access to land. I'm an example of that. This is a success because all I pay is property taxes. If I had to rent on this land, it would not be a success. So, we're sustainable because we can operate on a very low currency flow. We're sustainable because we honor the cycle of life to death to decomposition by accepting local waste for our mulching. We're sustainable because my son and I are paying our bills and have been paying our bills for 3 years.